fireworks.
All right, we are live. It is the Talking Movie Show with Sean, Kenny, and Jim. I'm Sean.
I'm Kenny.
And I'm Jim.
And tonight we have a kind of a weird topic. It is best SNL alumni movies, but with some restrictions. We decided we'd weed out the obvious movies and get to some lesser known, lesser seen maybe, and maybe dig up some cast members that don't get the exposure that they should or could. We've got the chats happening already. We've got Mr. Dan in there. We've got Greg, Texas. Hey guys.
Hey guys.
What's going on, guys?
So let's get it out on the table. What are the restrictions? Because I put and I put an asterisk on the banner that we used on Instagram this week. Some restrictions may apply. What were the restrictions that we came up with? Because we kind of came up with this on the fly. So what were the restrictions that we agreed to or didn't agree to? Because I don't know if it was ever really clear.
I think, not to speak for everybody, but I will. They're just. I think all three of us would have Animal House. That would probably be number one on probably all of our lists.
Right.
Another one, the Blues Brothers. I know that would be on my list.
Mine too.
And then you can go down the Sandler ones: Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, Tommy Boy,
right?
Ghostbusters. So we were just going to vacation movies because I know Sean loves Christmas Vacation a lot.
Yep.
So that would have made, and then we would have just been sitting here for like the next hour and a half going, all right, so what else do you guys want to talk about?
Well, what he said.
Yeah.
What he said. Yeah. My main concern was that if we didn't have these restrictions, we would all have, like Kenny said, we would have a good portion of these films on multiple lists.
Right.
And the whole idea is to try to get as many movies as possible. I'm sure we're probably still going to have a couple of repeat offenders here. Okay. But because I know we didn't go through who the movies were that we were picking, but we did go through the actual cast members.
Right.
And I know you have one, Sean, that's on my list, and I know you have one that's on my list, Kenny. So it's like, we'll see how it goes. But I did put down a couple of honorable mentions just in case.
Yeah,
if the title I picked was picked. So
those
are the only requirements I used.
And I think, Jim, you brought up the point in our chat that it was 268 cast members. Was that right?
It's 167.
Yeah, Sean brought it up.
Oh, okay, it was Sean. Okay, 160. I thought it was 200. 160. Yeah. Okay, so it was like you have a lot to go out there.
Right.
And I will say on my list, I don't know about you guys, but the majority of the cast members that I picked, the movies that I picked are older movies. Because quite honestly, I stopped watching Saturday Night Live about 30 years ago.
Oh,
so
I still watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I do see clips here and there, but I cannot remember the last time I actually watched an entire episode. Probably since Farley was on there. I mean, it's been that long.
Wow.
Oh,
so
wow, yeah. Yeah, I still watch it every week.
Yeah, I watch it, but as time goes on, I end up watching the YouTube clips on Sunday morning.
That's what I do.
And I watch the weekend update and usually the cold open, and that's about it. Because those are usually the two best things on the show anymore. But yeah, I stopped watching as a regular viewer probably around the same time as you, Jim, when Farley was on 90s.
Yeah,
Sandler, that era. That's when I was a hardcore viewer, like it was required viewing.
Right.
But I think the actual requirements that we had as far as picking movies is that they weren't the usual movies that we would that all of us would pick, and they weren't the ones that would jump into your mind.
One of mine might on one of my cast members because I didn't want to go with. I'll just say it now with my Ferrell pick. Okay.
Yeah.
My Will Ferrell pick. My favorite Will Ferrell pick is Anchorman.
Yeah.
But quite honestly, I was afraid somebody else would take that one, so that's why it's not.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I did is I thought of a cast member and I thought of the film that came up first or that I thought of. And then if it was too obvious, I went with the next one down.
Right.
That's what I did. And some of mine are going to be like, what?
Yeah.
And some of mine are probably going to be like, well, why did you include that one if you didn't include this one? So I think we'll have some surprises tonight. Maybe not. I don't know. We've already got some picks in the chat. Greg has come up with The Ladies' Man with Tim Meadows.
See, now, if I was going with Tim Meadows, I would have went with Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. Because his whole thing about you shouldn't smoke weed, Dewey. It's this, it's that, you know. And it's like have you guys ever seen that movie?
I don't think so. No,
I haven't.
It's fucking hysterically funny. Put it on your lists.
That's awesome. I will do that. I'm gonna start my list right now.
So shall we begin?
I have my pad. Yes, sir.
That means you, Kenny.
All right, and these are in no order.
Mine are in no order either.
It's just no order. But the first one I thought of was Robert Downey, and it's 1993's Heart and Souls.
Nice.
Ooh.
I think that is one of. I wish Downey would go back to physical comedy instead of like doing. I mean, he's making more money than God in the Marvel movies. But if you go back and watch his early movies, the comedies that he did, there was another one that was, if Downey was taken, that was another one. But the physical comedy that he did earlier in the 90s was outstanding. And Heart and Souls, if you haven't seen that movie, I highly recommend it. It has Kara Sidgwick, Elizabeth Shue, prime Elizabeth Shue, too. My
Yams
God.
were still floating.
Wow, she is just incredible in that. Charles Grodin, Alfred Woodard.
Yeah.
And it's just the guy from oh my God, Saving Private Ryan that passed away. Oh my God, I can see his face. Oh my God. Well,
Sizemore.
anyway, Sizemore, yeah.
Tom Sizemore, right?
Tom Sizemore, yeah. And it's such a good movie. I highly recommend that. There it is.
Yeah, I saw that when it came out, but I don't really remember much about it. But I do remember I liked it.
Yeah, it's basically all of his imaginary friends that he talked to, and it's a really beautiful movie. I'm telling you right now, the last 20 minutes will make you cry. Just letting you know.
Hey, Wally makes me cry. So
the people think they're, and the bus driver is David Paymer, also.
Nice.
That was nominated for an Academy Award for Best
Mr. Saturday Night
Actor, Mr. Saturday Night.
Yeah.
So highly recommend that.
Cool. That is
good
not
pick, Kenny. Good pick.
That's
I wouldn't
great
have thought of that one.
Yeah, and that's a perfect example of the type of movie that I was hoping we would get tonight.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Great job, bud.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Shit, I can't follow that. Mine's pretty well known.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, well, to start this thing, when you said, because Kenny was the one that came up with this idea, so we should give him credit for this. So if you like the show, give him all the credit in the world. If you don't like it, give him all the blame.
Yeah. Yell at me on Instagram. You stink, pal.
But Saturday Night Live, it's been around for 50 years, obviously. 75 is when it started. I was 8 years old. And, of course, it was on too late for me to watch, but I watched it anyways because I was just incredibly – I didn't understand half the skits, but I could not take my eyes off the performers. And the one that got me the most was John Belushi, without a doubt.
Yep.
And I became obsessed with Belushi. And when we started doing this, I was thinking, okay, we're not going with Animal House, and we're not going with Blues Brothers. Well, that takes out 40% of his mainly known movies in the first place. But the one that I picked for tonight, it ain't 1941 either, okay? It's a little movie called Continental Divide.
Yeah. That was
1981.
Did you give a hint with your music on your Instagram?
Rocky Mountain High, yep.
Yep.
Co-starring Blair Brown, Alan Goodwitz, and Tony Gagnos, who also just passed away recently. He was Meat in Porky's.
Yep.
But This is about the best acting performance Belushi ever gave on screen, in my opinion. He was totally clean and sober when they directed this or when they filmed this because he wanted to show his range. And I'm not saying that it's an award nomination worthy performance by any stretch, but he doesn't play a caricature in this movie. He plays a real character. Not to mention that when they're not in the Rockies, the rest of this movie takes place in Chicago, which all Chicago movies I have a deep connection with. You know, he plays a reporter for the Sun-Times. I really like this movie. It's available on Kino. And again, it's a romantic comedy. I generally don't like romantic comedies, but this one is one of the exceptions. I saw this one theatrically, and I've loved it ever since. So that's my first pick.
Awesome. Pick. Awesome. Great pick. I've seen that once, but I don't remember a lot about it because I saw it was on HBO quite a few years ago. And
especially after he passed away, it was always one.
Yeah.
I definitely prefer that movie to Neighbors because they both came out the same year. Neighbors is really the only Belushi movie that I don't like. I've tried to love that movie and I just can't.
Yeah.
I just can't.
He plays the straight man in that one.
Yeah.
Him and Danny switched the roles.
Yeah, which I got no problem with that.
Right.
It's just, it's such a weird movie. I've never, gotten attached to it, I guess.
Right. So, no, that's a great pick.
Thank you.
I remember, I think I read the biography on Belushi called Wired, which is not, what's that?
Hatchet job.
Yeah, it's a hatchet job. Yeah, it is.
The movie's worse. The movie's worse.
Yeah, I didn't see the movie, but I read the book, and I just remember reading about, how proud he was of the work he did on Continental Divide.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to see it again after reading the book. But yeah, great movie. Blair Brown is great in anything, but great movie, and written by Lawrence Kasdan, which if you're a Star Wars fan, you know who he is.
Yeah, and this was the third production for Amblin, Steven Spielberg's company.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because of the connection with Belushi, from 1941.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Kasdan because of Empire Strikes Back and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool.
That's a great one.
All right. Well, I'm going to I got my low-hanging fruit. I'll get these out of the way because these are the ones that I was like, these are the ones you're probably going to be like, well, why'd you pick those? Those are the obvious ones.
Joe Dirt.
What's that?
Joe Dirt.
No. No. But I've actually mentioned this one on the show before. I think I actually mentioned it last week or last show. But I'm going to pick an Adam Sandler movie. And we said we weren't going to talk about Happy Gilmore or Billy Madison or any of those. But I am going to talk about Uncut Gems,
which I still haven't seen.
Which you still haven't seen. Which I think, for this type of movie, if you were going to explain the plot of this movie to somebody and you were casting this film or thinking about casting this film, thinking about Adam Sandler as the lead in this role, or lead in this movie rather, he would not be the person I would project, but after seeing it, he's the perfect person for this role. He plays a jeweler and a gambling addict, and I don't want to say too much about it, but it's one of the most stressful film experiences I've ever had, sitting down and starting. It's just one situation after another, building going forward, but it's fantastic. And Sandler definitely can pull off serious roles. And this is the proof of it. I think he had a bet with Howard Stern that if he didn't get an Academy Award nomination or a win for this, that he was going to make the absolute worst movie he possibly could in Retaliation.
The Ridiculous Six.
But it's just a great movie. And I think he's kind of, he can make really shitty movies like The Ridiculous Six. Or I've never seen the Grown Ups all the way through. I had to turn it off. Yeah. And why they made a sequel to that, I don't know. But
because it made money.
Yeah. Well, of course.
Yeah, when it makes $400 million.
Yeah. I was being facetious, but
I know.
I know why they made a sequel to it, but I couldn't stand it. But anyway, this would be a pick, or my pick, for my favorite Adam Sandler movie that isn't Happy Gilmore. So
Nice.
there you go.
Nice.
All right. Next one up is a Christopher Guest movie, and my favorite Christopher Guest one is Best in Show.
I knew you were going to pick that one.
Okay.
Well, no, because me and you both got Guest on the list, so
yeah.
I knew you were going to go with that one.
Yeah, I went with that one. How Fred Willard did not get an Oscar nomination for his role is just beyond me.
Yeah,
I've seen that hundreds of times, and I still laugh at the Fred Willard parts, and I laugh at the Michael McKean part where he comes in with like 37 things of luggage, and he goes, "But honey, we're only here for the weekend." That line still makes me laugh. So Best in Show is hilarious. Absolutely, Mr. Dan. I really love that movie. So
it's a great one.
Yeah. And I agree with you about Fred Willard, man. He steals that movie. He is so damn funny in that movie.
Yeah, he's great in pretty much everything he does. There's a terrible movie with him and Gene Simmons and Cloris Leachman.
Wow, that's a cast.
It's, oh my God, let me find the name of it. I'll find it right now.
A bad Gene Simmons movie? I don't believe it.
Oh, I know, that's hard to believe, right?
Yeah, you got to see Never Too Young to Die. That is the bar that all other Gene Simmons movies have to clear. That thing.
Oh, this one's even worse.
Oh, wow.
Shit. Expecting Mary.
Wow,
it's a movie. Heard of that.
Never even heard of that.
Yeah, it's from 2010. It's got Elliot Gould, Linda Gray, Lanny Kazan, Della Reese, Gene Simmons, Fred Willard, Sybil Shepherd, Cloris Leachman, and this young girl named Elisa Rulin. And if any of those names mean anything to you, the combination has to drum up a little curiosity.
I was going to say, that's quite the eclectic cast, man. Is it one of those movies where each one of them shows up for like one scene and then they're never seen again?
Some of them, yes. Simmons is like that. Gotcha. But it's Cloris Leachman plays a pretty substantial part. So does Linda Gray. Elliot Gould is in the beginning for about 10 minutes. But it's on Tubi. At least that's where I saw it. It's one of the worst movies ever.
How did you stumble upon that?
I was looking up credits for Gene Simmons, and I found it. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And I had to watch it. Yeah, It's terrible. But Fred Willard is fantastic in it.
Fred Willard was fantastic in everything.
Right. That's my point. And I wrote a review of it, and I'm scanning it here. I said, Fred Willard makes a brief appearance as Jerry Z, but every character eventually reveals a heart of gold, no matter how ill-mannered they appear on the outside. But Fred Willard plays an agent in it, and he is just fantastic. Just absolutely fantastic.
That's great.
So
awesome.
Yeah. Sorry to derail everything.
Not at all. I was just... When you said that this one was worse than Never Too Young to Die, my brain just never recovered from that. Because you ever seen that one? Oh my! With John Stamos and Vanity?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was a period where Vanity was the it girl.
Oh yeah, she's hot as hell in that movie.
Yeah, but she is.
That movie is bad.
It's bad.
That movie is so bad. Stargrove. Okay.
He's a gymnast, secret agent.
That's right, just like his father. Okay. See, now we're gonna be talking about that fucking piece of shit. Okay, this is the only one I don't have a physical copy of, but this is my Dan Aykroyd pick, and I was struggling between this one and. Do either of you have Aykroyd on your lists?
Yep,
I do.
Oh, all three of us do. Okay, then I won't mention the one that I almost did because you guys might. And if you guys pick this one, tough shit. This one, let's see if you guys can figure this one out. 1992, Dan Aykroyd.
No.
Ensemble piece.
Nothing But Trouble.
No. Directed and written by the guy who wrote and directed Field of Dreams. Phil Aldrin Robinson.
No.
Co-starring. Okay.
My Girl?
No. Co-starring.
Loose Cannons?
Co-starring. As soon as I say this name, you guys should get it. Sidney Poitier. Robert Redford.
Oh, Sneakers.
Sneakers.
That's a great one. Yeah, that's a good one.
See, I went deep, so deep my co-host couldn't figure it out. Yeah, I'm
that's
talking about Sneakers, 1992. I absolutely love that friggin' movie.
It's
and the only reason why I don't have a physical copy is because the Blu-ray that's out right now sucks. But Kino is putting a nice new 4K transfer out in April with a bunch of bonus features and a bunch of other stuff, and I can't wait because I think that is one of the best cast movies of the 90s. It is so good. And it even has the little appearance by James Earl Jones at the end. And it's one of the funniest lines ever. He's asking each one member of the crew what they want. And David Strathairn, who steals the movie as the blind guy, Whistler, goes, I want peace and goodwill towards men. And James Earl Jones says, we're the United States government. We do not do that. So, yeah, my second pick is Sneakers.
That's awesome. That's a great one. I actually thought about that one. Dan Aykroyd has such a great filmography and so deep because he's done so many different things. He's done so many ensemble pieces and little guest starring roles here and there and dramatic roles and stuff. I wanted to, Greg mentioned it right there. An obvious choice that, he did the cameo in Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom.
I was thinking about that just to be an asshole.
And then Patrick mentions Driving Miss Daisy. That's, he's got whole levels of that, but I don't know. My pick, hopefully you guys will appreciate. But I did think about Sneakers.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that's a great one. All right, I guess it's my turn. Sorry, I have
a
never-ending parade of animals coming in here to greet me.
Don't talk to your wife like that. That's me.
And a wife. She said it herself.
She calls you the pet names.
Yeah.
Get down, dog.
All right, I have a physical copy of this movie, but I don't have it on me because it's in a collection, and I don't want to hold up the collection because it's not featured very prominently, but it is my Bill Murray pick. And again, it's one of the low-hanging fruit, and it is Lost in Translation from 2003.
Nice.
I didn't have that on my list.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I saw it when it came out.
Okay. Kenny, you've seen it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The karaoke scene's hysterical.
Yeah. It's a movie that I saw twice, and I would go in when it was at my theater, and I would just watch it over and over and over again. I have not seen it since it was in theaters. I have it on this Blu-ray collection, and I haven't watched it on physical media since it came out. But I remember loving it. It's just a very, very poignant movie, very just a touching movie about two people sort of being alone, even though they're with people, all day long. And the one scene with Bill Murray getting his picture taken for the Suntory whiskey, and they're trying to put him in all those different poses and stuff is just hilarious. And the connections he has with Scarlett Johansson's character is really great. I don't know. I just thought and Patrick says, my favorite Murray movie is Meatballs. I thought about that, but I think we threw that one out.
Yeah.
Didn't we? We threw it out.
That one was like one of the borderline.
That one in Stripes.
Yeah.
And Ghostbusters, obviously.
And Ghostbusters. Yeah, definitely. Meatballs would have been on there for sure. But yeah, I just really think this was the movie I think that Murray really showed he had the chops to be a serious actor. Not that he's never shown it before. He's done a lot of serious work. Broken Flowers. What was the one movie he did where
Razor's Edge?
Razor's Edge. Yes, that was the first time he really did it. And I really think that, if he wanted to, he could just be a serious actor and just go off and do that. And something else about Bill Murray that surprised me that just came out of nowhere. I just got a notification that he's playing a concert in Cleveland in November with
Really?
the group Bill Murray and his Blood Brothers. He's going to be playing a small 3,000 seat arena here. So
Nice.
I'm going to go.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
ask him to sing Star Wars.
Yeah, I wonder if he will just to be a dick, but I don't know. But yeah, Meatballs does have serious heart, Patrick. I totally agree with you. But yeah, Lost in Translation is one that I thought maybe might be too obvious, but
no, that's a good pick.
No, it's a good pick.
All right, cool. That's my pick for Bill Murray.
Good job.
All right, I'm going to go with the Belushi one, but not John. I'm going to go with Jim.
Oh,
and this is my. Well, it's tied for my favorite Jim Belushi movie, and it's About Last Night with Rob Lowe, Demi Moore.
Ah.
Absolutely hysterical.
Nope. Not good again.
Oh, no.
That's the movie I got the blowjob on the car at the drive-in with, man. That's why I'm getting
All right. Well, I love the back and forth between Elizabeth Perkins and Jim Belushi in this movie, where he goes to her. You know much about the fight game? And she's like, no. And he goes, well, I'm the heavyweight champion of the world. And she goes, well, champ, get lost. And I think her name was Claire in that movie. You know, Claire.
Yeah.
That's a fat chick's name, Claire. But
yeah, I love that movie.
That movie's so funny.
Remake's horrible.
I was just going to say, you are talking, of course, about the original and not the remake.
I'm talking about the original from 1980. And plus, also has a great song by Sheena Easton. For you Sheena Easton fans like me out there. So far, so good.
And it also has a great pair of very small Demi Moore yams before she had kids.
Was that absolutely prime Demi Moore in that movie or what? I hated Rob Lowe for years, man. Just yeah.
So Rob Lowe's like too damn good looking. He's so pretty. I want to fuck.
That's
him,
what he's. Remember, Jim Belushi says, you have a problem, Danny. Well, what's that? You're too goddamn good.
You're just too good looking. Women are intimidated by men that are better looking than they are.
And he goes, well, what do they want? He goes, they want people like me with character. I've watched that movie so much I can recite lines from that.
Texas. You yam bastard.
Yam bastard.
That's his revenge from that Spanish translation on my show the other day in Texas. Great pick, dude.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, my turn?
Yep.
We're still back with the original cast. This time we're going with Chevy Chase.
Nice.
And he was the first one to leave of the original cast members because his movie came out the same year as Animal House. And even though it didn't make as much money, he was convinced he was going to be a movie star. And by his movie, I mean Foul Play.
Yes.
Yes. That's a great one.
Copacabana. That's where that on the Instagram came from when I was playing the Barry Manilow song. Because that's Dudley Moore doing his thing or whatever when she's looking out the window. Yeah, I adore this movie. This is the movie that made me fall in love with Goldie Hawn as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And Chevy Chase is actually very funny in this movie, but Burgess Meredith steals the damn show. He is hysterically funny in that movie. And there's a lot of jokes in that movie that haven't aged well. The whole subplot at the end with the stealing a limo to get to the crime, and they've got an elderly Asian couple in the back seat who don't speak English, and all they keep on thinking is that they're on an episode of Kojak. Yeah, that might be a little bit racist, but you know what? It's funny as hell. So, back in the 70s when people still had a sense of humor. So, I love Foul Play. I'll always love Foul Play. So that's my next pick.
Hey, Hatchet Boys.
Hey, Hatchet Boys. I'm sorry.
P. Rich.
Who is it?
P. Rich. He's one of Texas's crew.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Yep.
Nice
he
to
does
meet
live
you.
shows all the time too, or live streams all the time too.
Okay.
Great
Thanks for
guy.
coming in. And I'm sorry, I'm not feeling so great tonight, so I don't mean to ignore the chat. I'm not multitasking very well. So if I miss you or don't say something or I don't highlight you, please don't feel slighted.
Two or three of us are playing hurt. I throw my back out, and I'm on some nice medication right now, and Sean's not feeling good, and Jim, well, he's just
my medication ain't working. Come on, baby, it's your pick.
So let me go through the chat here and see if we missed any picks. We've had some thrown out. Problem Child 2 with Lorraine Newman.
I forgot she was in that.
I forgot she was in that. I was not a big fan of any of the Problem Child movies, but it definitely qualifies because she's in it.
You know what Lorraine Newman I had, but it's not on my list. But I was thinking of Perfect.
I forgot she was in that too.
With John. Yeah, with John Travolta and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
the friend. Yeah,
okay.
She's the friend. That's when she had the nose job done.
Ah.
Yeah, I remember Mary
That was
Lou
the first
Henner
time because I was like looking at her. I'm like, that's not Lorraine Newman because I remember that was a cable favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, Funny Farm with Chevy Chase. That's a good one.
That was almost
That's a great one.
That was one of my possibilities for Chevy Chase.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
That's a good one. Let's see what else.
When he's making the collect call and he gets a mason jar and throws the dime in there.
I like the lazy dog. It is so lazy it won't even get its tail out of the fireplace. He just like walks over and just.
We got Adam Sandler and Click for Patrick.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that movie. I'm not a big Sandler guy though.
I'm not either, but that movie was more depressing than anything else.
Yeah, that's the way I felt.
You know the backstory of that, right?
Yeah.
The scene with his the daughter was his dad had just died that morning.
Yeah.
And that scene, right, that he does with the daughter in the bed, he just lost it.
Oh. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Way to bring us down, Kenny. That's
Sorry.
Sean's job. Hey,
Greg has sheep balls. So what? Greg in the chat says sheep balls, so that'll make us laugh again.
Problem Child 2 Electric Boogaloo. I think I missed that one. Hey, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
All right. I think we're caught up. If I missed you, sorry. Put it in the chat again. I will catch it. All right. I'm up, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right. This is another low-hanging fruit. Then I'm going to get into sort of my deep cuts. Billy Crystal was a Saturday Night Live cast member for one whole season. Mm-hmm. And so I picked City Slickers.
Good one.
This is a movie I actually watched early. It was when I was a projectionist at the theater. We watched the night before it was officially out, and we totally fell in love with it, and we hyped it up as much as we could to anybody who came in. Just totally fell in love with it. Just a great movie. And, it's Jack Palance. I think it benefits from the cast, but I think it is one of Billy Crystal's better films.
Yeah.
But without Jack Palance, I don't think it would be the film that it was.
No.
But Bruno Kirby's great in it. Daniel Stern's great in it. Helen Slater is in it and very good. But it's one of those, life lesson movies, and everybody comes out a better person at the end and whatnot. But still a great performance from Billy Crystal. So it's my favorite Billy Crystal movie. So
there's one line in there that still grabs me to today.
What's that?
He's talking to his wife about going on the trip with the three of them, and he said, "Did you ever? What was it again? Have you ever peaked at 19 and it's never going to come back to you?" I think that's the line, but that always resonates with me because it was like I had the best time at 19.
Yeah,
it was like, and everything else after 19 just kind of fell through, that line always resonates with me, and I can't remember the exact line of it, but yeah, that just tears you apart.
Yeah, there's a scene where.
Go ahead, John.
I was just gonna say there's a scene where he's describing going to a baseball game with his dad. I think it is.
Yeah,
and I don't know what I do not like going to baseball games very much. I'm not a baseball fan, but there's something about when somebody describes going to a baseball game or baseball in film, it just the magic of it catches me. Like the movie The Natural, that scene where he's describing the baseball game, Field of Dreams. In movies, baseball is like magical and really captures my imagination. In real life, I have no attraction to it whatsoever. But I totally get that scene and I totally buy into it every single time. It's just a great scene, but I don't know what it is. But that's just one of like the collection of big, great baseball scenes in movies. Is that one where he's describing walking into the stadium and I don't know. It just sticks with me.
That's true because like I didn't have a good relationship with my dad, and I think the other part of this scene was me and my dad didn't get along, but we always had baseball to talk about.
Yeah,
and it does because it was like I started getting into it like the mid '70s with the Phillies and stuff like that, and I didn't have a great relationship with my dad, but we could always say, "Hey, Mike Schmidt," or Greg Luzinski. We could always talk about that, and that would just like liven up the conversation.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a weird thing that fathers and sons have, especially with baseball.
Yeah.
America's pastime.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because my dad and I didn't get along that great, but the connection we had was movies, believe it or not. So
that's great.
That's what we did. He took me to the movies all the time. So I saw more movies with my dad than I saw with my mom or any other family member. So we always had movies.
That's wild.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah. All right. Next up for me is a Dan Aykroyd movie, and this is my favorite Dan Aykroyd movie.
Okay.
Dr. Detroit.
Nice.
I love that movie. And it was the first time because you guys know I always have a crush on Fran Drescher, and that was the first time I ever seen her in a movie. And you guys had told me watch Hollywood Nights.
That's right.
So I did go back on Tubi and watch Hollywood Nights, but man, Dan Aykroyd in that movie just makes me laugh. And that was always on cable. Every time I turn on cable, like on Friday and Saturday nights after Saturday Night Live, Dr. Detroit was on. And it always made me laugh. So and I finally got it on DVD too. So nice. I could watch it again.
I like the plot summary on IMDb for Dr. Detroit. A pimp on the run trusts his prostitutes to a meek professor of literature who accepts the challenge.
Pretty accurate plot description, actually.
And I like the ending where they had the Wrath of Mom, and they never made the sequel to it because I guess it underperformed at the box office.
Yeah, no, that movie did not do well.
It didn't do well. It was. I remember it was huge at video stores and cable.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Wrath of Mom. And the doctor thanks you, but the doctor is no more.
Is that where he met Donna Dixon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was hot as hell back then. That was when she was on Bosom Buddies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, good pick, Kenny.
Thanks.
I figured you were going to take either that one or Dragnet when you put Aykroyd on.
Oh, okay.
Because I know you really like Dragnet too. So
yeah.
Okay, I am up. I am sticking to that original cast, and I'm sticking this time with Bill Murray. And Bill Murray's one of those guys that you could so many different movies I could have picked. I mean, from dramatic roles to comedic roles. I decided to pick one that is probably the most near and dear to his heart. Because he's playing himself in Zombieland. His cameo in Zombieland is brilliant. And the first time I saw this theatrically, when he popped up, I about shit myself. I was laughing so hard. especially where you immediately. So, you guys hungry? You thirsty? Can I get you anything? And the next thing you see is a big old bong. I mean, it's just, I love it. You look like Eddie Van Halen. Yeah, I saw Eddie Van Halen. Well, how is he? He's a zombie. I love Bill Murray in that movie. So that's my Bill Murray pick.
That's a good one.
That's a great pick. Yeah, you can't do much better than Bill Murray as Bill Murray.
Exactly. And his death scene is friggin' hysterical. I love it. When Emma Stone, she's like, it's so funny, but it's sad. I love it.
All right, I'll do mine. Mine is actually my Aykroyd pick too. And this one, like I said, you could pick anything with Aykroyd, but I picked Grosse Pointe Blank.
That's what I took off my list, and I almost mentioned it when I said sneakers, but I had a feeling you might. Awesome.
That's a really good movie.
That's a great movie.
Yeah.
And he's awesome in it.
Yeah, his union of assassins. He wants John Cusack to join. Plays Grocer. It's a great movie. I am way overdue for a rewatch, so I don't remember all the plot details, but I just remember seeing it, and I'm like, oh my God, Dan Aykroyd's playing this really dark character, but it's awesome. He's really good at it.
Yeah, that movie is so funny.
Yeah.
I love Alan Arkin as the psychiatrist.
Mm-hmm.
He's like afraid to, he's afraid to answer the phone, but if he doesn't pick it up, then he's going to be even more afraid. I mean, oh God, it's hysterical. I think I should kill somebody. No, don't do that. But that'll make me feel better. Well, then go ahead, but don't involve me.
Whatever happened to Minnie Driver?
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
So damn good.
Yeah.
Weinstein.
Is that what it was?
She was one of those victims of the Weinstein factory, and she just kind of got sick of that whole shit.
That's such a shame.
Yeah, and she was great. She had a nice little run going.
Yeah, she did. But
the last thing I seen her, and she was in a sitcom on ABC. I think Speechless.
Yeah.
I think that was the name of it. She was really good. She was the mom. Because the kid was disabled, and yeah, that was a very good sitcom too.
Disabled kid sitcom. That's probably why I never heard of it.
No,
sorry.
It was
right in your target audience,
it was
right?
Funny.
Let's see. What was that called? She was in The Beekeeper. That's right.
That's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she was. I remember seeing her in the credits, but I remember watching the movie and not recognizing her.
Yeah, she was. And basically she was in it for maybe 3 minutes. She wasn't in it that long.
I'm trying to find Speechless is the name of that show you were talking about. Wow, that was on for quite a while. 63 episodes, 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Huh. And she was in the TV series About a Boy too.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was better than the movie, the TV show.
Never saw the movie or the TV show, to be honest.
Yeah, she was really good. She played this like overprotective hippie mom, and the guy next door had a one hit, like sort of like I'll say like achy breaky heart. Okay, and he was basically living off the credits of this song, and still thinking, he was like hot shit. So he'd go down there and he goes, "Hey, you wrote that song?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, it sucked," And
my phone just went off and I got a notification. Talking Movies is now live.
Oh, shit. Really?
Wow, we're popular.
Hey, I haven't been notified yet. Are we on?
Yeah, we're on.
Okay. All right. Kenny, you're up.
All right. My next one is an Eddie Murphy selection, but it's not what you think. And this is probably one of his best movies that I've ever seen him act in, and it's called Mr. Church.
Nice.
It's a really, really good movie. Basically, it takes place where he is basically the Manny for these two young kids, and it basically takes over like his whole life. He doesn't have any family, and the kids don't get along with their parents. So basically, Mr. Church turns into like a a parent to these two little girls, and it takes place from when they were toddlers to when they get grown up and get married and stuff. And it's a really beautiful movie, and I kept on clamoring for him to get an Oscar nomination for this movie. I really thought he deserved it. But if you can find it, and I think it's streaming on Max right now. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, there it is. I didn't even see it. I was like looking up all the like streaming aspects of it, but that's a really good movie. There's the two little girls.
Yeah, he's very good in it.
Yeah, isn't it a good movie, Jim?
I didn't really care for the movie that much because I generally don't like those types of movies.
But
like I said, his performance is very good in it. And my wife loved that movie. She bawled her eyes out. So
yeah.
But we've talked about that before. I have a heart of ice, so But like I said, I'll agree with you. That is without a doubt one of his best performances.
Yeah.
I've heard of that movie, but I didn't know much about it, what it was or anything. So I'll put that on.
Yeah, watch it with Lori. I'm telling you, she'll like that movie a lot.
Yeah, Lori will probably enjoy it. Good pick, Ken.
Right. Good pick.
You.
All right,
that's one that I always recommend. Like when people say about like Nutty Professor and all that stuff, I say no. Watch this movie with Eddie Murphy. You know
what, Kenny? You're an asshole. Because my pick is Eddie Murphy, and I was going to mention the Nutty Professor.
That's a great move. That's a great movie, and I think he should have got nominated for an Oscar for that role. But I
well played, sir. Well played.
No, but I really think his best role was Mr. Church. And it's a shame, not a lot of people got to see it.
The main reason why I picked the Nutty Professor is because of all the other movies of his that I own are those ones that we were talking about: 48 Hours, Trading Places, okay. Beverly Hills Cop. And I think this is one of his best performances. Okay. Mm-hmm. However, I'll cheat because I'll go with the pick that I was going to go with, but I don't have a physical copy of it. And I think it's also one of his best performances. And nobody talks about this movie. Boomerang.
Oh,
yes.
With
nice.
Martin Lawrence and Robin Givens and John Witherspoon as the father of the guy from In Living Color, who's David Alan Grier, rather. He plays his father, and his whole bit about coordination. You got to coordinate. You see this? Every scene he's in is gold. And Grace Jones is the supermodel. Strange.
I haven't seen that movie.
I've come up with the names of this perfume. Cat pussy. Old man scrotum. All this other shit. Whale's vagina.
My buddy Jimmy used to quote that movie. When we went to see that, he used to come and quote that movie all the time. It
is so fucking funny. I love that movie. And then I think might be Halle Berry's. If that's not her debut, it's pretty damn close to it. I think Jungle Fever was her debut. But that movie came out like a year after it, and she is super young in that movie. She's supposed to play the not so attractive assistant to Robin Givens, and it's like, are you kidding me? It's Halle Berry,
Right?
Wasn't Booty Call before that, or am I wrong?
Booty Call. Halle Berry's not in Booty Call. That's Vivica Fox.
Oh, I thought
and Jamie Foxx and what's his face from In Living Color, Tommy Davidson.
She was in The Last Boy Scout. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she was the stripper chick.
It's been a long time since I've
Damon
seen
Wayans' girlfriend.
Okay.
Who gets blown away at the beginning.
Huh. Wow.
But yeah, I love Boomerang. I think that movie's hilarious.
I don't think I've seen that one. I think I get that confused with The Distinguished Gentleman.
Yeah, they both came out like within a couple of months of each other.
Yeah.
And Boomerang is much better.
Okay.
Yeah. Distinguished Gentleman is okay, but Boomerang is funny as hell.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna have to check it out because I went to the theater to see The Distinguished Gentleman, and I came away kind of underwhelmed.
The scene there's one line from Martin Lawrence in that movie that I quote constantly whenever I'm grilling. And you see lots of smoke and shit. They're like, hey, you're burning it. That's not burn. That's not smoke. That's aroma.
All right. I guess it's my turn again.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna have to have this Blu-ray like just sitting next to my camera because I mention it every single show, I think. But it's a Jason Sudeikis movie. Any takers? You want to guess?
We are the Millers.
Horrible bosses. Oh, shit.
I remember I texted you, I messaged you, and I said, I know one of your movies.
Yep. I mean, he may be Ted Lasso to everybody, but for me, he's Dave Clark, the low-level weed dealer. So,
I think I'm the only person on the planet who's never seen a single moment of Ted Lasso.
Really?
Yeah, so he's not Ted Lasso to me.
Okay. I like Ted Lasso, but hey, I don't know. There's something about We're the Millers that just cracks me up. It was a movie that me and my wife saw early in our relationship.
Yeah.
And we just watch it all the time. And it's just a great favorite movie of ours. Yeah. And we quote it. And I kind of gave it away in my post today, the waterfalls.
Yeah.
Because that's a big part of it. But I think the key to that movie, though, is not just Jason Sudeikis, although he's great in it. The entire cast is great. Catherine Hahn, Nick Offerman.
I love Catherine Hahn.
Yeah, she's so underrated.
Great in everything.
Yeah. Texas has never seen Ted Lasso either.
Oh wow.
See me in Texas, man.
Yeah. Nick Offerman, Catherine Hahn, Jennifer Aniston, Will Poulter. Who's the other one? Emma Roberts.
Emma Roberts. Yeah, I was gonna say Julia Roberts' niece.
Yeah. It's just an all around great movie. It never fails to cheer me up when it's on. So I have to go with it.
Yeah, it's funny as hell. Good pick.
And it was funny because I was telling my wife, I'm like, yeah, Jason Sudeikis is one of my picks for the Saturday Night Live show, and she's like, Jason Sudeikis was on Saturday Night Live, and I was like. Like, yeah, he was on for 9 seasons. What? Yeah. And it's crazy how some of these people have been on and they just blend right in.
Yep.
All right, Kenny.
All right. My next pick is a Rob Schneider movie.
Uh-oh.
And this is one that will always make me laugh. Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo.
Thank God that's the one you picked.
Oh,
You're going to say the animal. I was going to say, sorry, guys, I got to go.
No, Deuce Bigalow.
Yeah, that movie's funny.
I like that. I like when he's like Dan. My mom used to get the biggest kick out of the scene where because every time the KC and the Sunshine Band get down tonight, where he's trying to be a stripper for the girl, and oh man, I just die at that movie. That movie is so funny. Yeah, I remember. This is true. Blockbuster was selling that movie when it came out for $30, $29.99 at Blockbuster. You could have bought it for.
Nice. And did you?
Oof. No. Did you? No. I think I eventually. I think I got it at Best Buy. I think I paid $10 for it eventually. Nice. You know, on a Sunday sale. But man, that movie still makes me laugh.
God, I haven't seen that movie in years.
It's still great. And shut up! Are you kidding me?
Yep.
It's definitely Rob Schneider's funniest movie.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
And the girl in that is so funny. The blonde, the
guy from The Mummy is funny in it. You know, the actual the guy who you've seen the Brendan Fraser Mummy movies, right? Sean?
Yeah.
Okay. He didn't play the mummy. He played the guy who helps Brendan Fraser fight the mummy. Okay. He is the actual gigolo in this movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rob Schneider has to pretend to be him.
Okay.
And that guy's kind of funny. You know,
Right.
I mean, I got to
Jim, here, fishy, fishy,
here,
fishy,
fishy,
here, fishy, fishy, fishy. They don't like that. And then there's the whole thing with a blind woman. With a blind woman that goes in with Eddie Jordan. You're black. I knew it. For people that watch the movie, don't get that. Don't get it.
Oh, brother.
But all right, Jim.
He's like, save me. Okay, my Robert Downey Jr. pick. I was going to go with, I mean, there was two that immediately jumped into my mind. You got Downey on your list, Sean?
Nope.
Okay, because you already did your Downey pick. Okay. Because originally I was going to go Tropic Thunder. And then I was like, no, you know, that's pretty obvious. And then I was going to go Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. And I was like, no, that's pretty obvious. But then I was thinking, you know what? Let's get a little bit cheeky here. How about Robert Downey Jr. and fellow cast member Anthony Michael Hall in Weird Science?
Weird Science.
Weird
There you
Science.
go.
Okay.
I love this movie. Outside of The Breakfast Club, this is my favorite John Hughes movie, but I think this is the funniest John Hughes movie. This movie is fucking hilarious. It hasn't aged well. I don't care. I still think it's funny as hell. And rest in peace, Bill Paxton. It's one of his most iconic roles is the brother-in-law brother from Hell, Chet. How about a nice greasy pork sandwich served in a dirty ashtray? He an asshole. Anybody with a haircut like that, you know he got to be an asshole.
My other Robert Downey pick that I was going to pick was Chances Are.
Yes, I wouldn't have thought that.
That's another one.
That's one with Sybil Shepherd, right?
Yes, and Ryan O'Neal.
But yeah, Weird Science. I love that movie. So
that's a great.
That's my Downey pick.
That's one of those movies that sort of passed through the 80s into the 90s before I got the chance to actually see it. I didn't see it in the 80s.
Really? Weird Science?
One of those ones that I would watch bits and pieces of on HBO, and I never saw the whole thing from beginning to end. And then I finally sat down and watched it. And I still have seen it more than once. So
that was the summer of '85, and Real Genius and My Science Project came out on the same day, and then 2 weeks later, Weird Science came out.
Oh,
and
wow.
it was like that was the science summer, you know.
Yeah.
And all three of them, none of them were really big hits because Back to the Future, the fourth science movie, destroyed everything. But
Jim, wasn't My Science Project out that year too?
That's what I said. Real Genius.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Real Genius and My Science Project came out on the same day.
About that.
The same day. And it was like, okay. And yeah, I mean, it's like that fucking Lambada and the Forbidden Dance, you know, 10 years later, you know.
Right.
Two very similar movies, similar titles, same day, you know.
Wow.
But yeah,
That's
I own
crazy.
all three of them.
Yeah.
And
Creator came out too, right?
Yep.
With
yeah,
Peter
that was
O'Toole.
earlier in the year with Peter O'Toole and Virginia Madsen. Oh, God, is she hot in that movie?
Oh, boy.
Yams. Okay, go ahead, Sean.
All right, this one's going to be sort of a stretch, but it's Kristen Wiig. And so when I say Kristen Wiig, what do you think?
Bridesmaids.
I think of Skeleton Twins.
Okay. Bridesmaids I thought was too on the nose, like everybody goes for that one. Skeleton Twins I probably would have picked had I seen it, but I never did. I picked The Martian.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Wow, okay.
If you've seen The Martian, you know she plays the NASA media director, and she's kind of put in some difficult situations. And most people think, oh, that's a Matt Damon movie through and through because he's mostly on 90% of the time. But she plays a very pivotal character in it, and I think she does a great job in it. I forget the character's name, Annie Montrose. And I was reading some of because I've only seen this movie once, and I read the book, but she's put into some great situations, and it highlights her sense of humor, and I think she does a great job in it. So that's why I picked it.
Nice. I never would have thought of that.
I never thought of that either.
Yeah.
Until you mentioned it, I forgot she was even in it until you mentioned her character, and then it clicked, and I was like, oh yeah.
She's got a third billing on that movie, so it's not like a little cameo appearance.
Yeah, it's not a small part at all.
Yeah, it's third. She's third billed under Matt Damon and Jessica Chastain. So she's
Nice.
pretty beefy part. So
yeah, I love that movie too. It's a great movie.
Yeah, it is a great movie. The book's great. The book is great.
Yeah, I've never read the book, but love the movie.
Her part in that was sort of like Ed Harris was in Apollo.
Mm-hmm.
Apollo 13.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Jeff Daniels was more like Ed Harris. I think his
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
Because he was the one that was
the
like,
role he played. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to lose somebody on my watch. God damn it, that sort of thing.
Yeah, she was dealing with the media, and she was like, "Oh, what the hell did she say? Something about, we just said that he's dead, and we just planned a funeral for him, and now we got to tell everybody he's alive, or something like that."
That's a good one. I never thought of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither. Great pick.
Thanks.
All right. Next up for me is my Chevy Chase pick. And it is my absolute favorite Chevy Chase movie, and it's Seems Like Old Times.
Nice.
Goldie Hawn.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I do too.
The combination with him and Grodin going back and forth, and also has a couple Barry Manilow songs in there. Ready to Take a Chance. I just love that movie, and I actually I found the recipe online. It was, come on, Jim, give it to me.
What?
The chicken pepperoni.
Dude, it's been years since I've seen that. I gotta think about it.
It was the maid's chicken pepperoni, because Benson.
Yeah, and, Robert Guillaume's in it.
Robert Guillaume and the dad from Bachelor Party is also in it.
Yeah, it's been years since I've seen that movie.
And she has about 30 dogs that live with her and stuff like that. It's a really, really funny movie.
Yeah, that's another one with Goldie. The two of them teamed up after Foul Play.
Yeah. I have never seen that.
Oh man, you really have to see that.
It's classic Neil Simon. I mean,
okay.
It's a good movie.
I love
Charles
Neil
Grodin.
Simon.
To me, is the MVP of that movie.
Absolutely.
I love Charles Grodin, so I'm definitely going to put that on my list.
Yeah,
it's a good movie. It really is. Yeah, good pick, Kenny.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you mentioned it, and it rings a bell, but I don't think I ever got around to seeing it. And I'm watching this trailer off on my other screen here, and it doesn't look familiar at all. That's crazy. So thank you.
Yeah, they have it. It's on Amazon for $5 if you want the DVD.
Okay.
It's available. You can get it that way on Amazon.
Yeah. No, that's like the perfect type of picture that I'm looking for to watch, because I'm just saw Charles Grodin in A Real Life with
Albert Brooks.
What's that?
Albert Brooks.
Yeah. He was phenomenal in that. Yeah. So okay, sorry, didn't mean to butt in.
No problem. Okay, here comes the deepest cut of the night from me.
Whoa.
And this is another one I switched at the last minute. Okay, this is my Christopher Guest pick. And obviously, could have went with the two ones that immediately pop into mind when you think of Christopher Guest, in my opinion, is Spinal Tap and Princess Bride. Okay. Mm-hmm. And originally I had Princess Bride. Okay. Because I told you I would not take Spinal Tap. But then I thought, you know what? That's too obvious. So we're going all the way back to 1980, before he was even on the show. Okay. This is a movie that stars the Carradines, the Keaches, the Quaids, and the Guest brothers, and it's called The Long Riders.
Oh, yeah.
Directed by Walter Hill. This is a great Western. This is about the Jesse James and Cole Younger gangs. And they got real-life brothers to play real-life brothers. And Christopher Guest and his brother, Nicholas Guest. Nicholas Guest, spoiler alert, he's the guy, he plays the coward, whatever the hell, what the hell is that Brad Pitt movie? Help me out here. Jesse James and the coward Robert Ford or whatever. Yeah.
The assassination of Robert Ford. Or...
Yes. Okay. Yeah. The assassination of Okay. He's Robert Ford, the Guest, Nicholas Guest. He's the guy who shoots Jesse James. But it's a great movie. It's a great movie.
That's a great pick, Jim.
And again, I didn't even think about it until the last minute when I was going through my list the last time, and I was like, you know what? When you think of Christopher Guest, you don't think of the Long Riders. You know, that's a movie that you think about the Keaches and the Carradines, you know, but the two Guest brothers are just as essential to the plot as the rest of the brothers. So yeah, Long Riders, great pick. You're a great movie. Sorry, not to be patting myself on the back for the pick.
That's really good.
Great pick. Great pick.
Thank you very much.
You could have come around on that on another way too, because that was Randy Quaid. Randy Quaid was on SNL.
Shit, I forgot Randy Quaid was also on Saturday Night Live. That's right. Damn. And another matchup movie and didn't even realize it.
Yep. That's a great pick. I remember when that movie came out. I've never seen it though.
Kino.
Walter Hill.
Kino's got it real cheap. And
nice.
It's a really beautiful transfer.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I bought this Blu-ray quite a while ago, and they've upgraded it since. And this is a good transfer. I can only imagine what the new one looks like.
Okay. Excellent.
It's also on Tubi, Sean, too, if you want to check it out.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably just spring for it on Tubi to watch it, but that's awesome. Great pick.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm going with the other half of Bridesmaids, Maya Rudolph. So
I just watched the movie with her today.
Oh yeah, what's
Hopefully that? Away they go.
Away we go.
Jim, with Jim Kazurinsky.
Mm-hmm. That's not my pick.
Was that your pick?
I have this on physical media, but I couldn't find it in time for the show. But it is Idiocracy.
When you said Maya Rudolph, I knew it was going to be Idiocracy. Nice.
Yeah. She's got a great career, and she does tons of appearances on stuff, but a lot of it is TV. And but I think in Idiocracy, she's got a great chemistry with Luke Wilson, as she plays Rita, the prostitute that gets frozen or puts in suspended animation, goes 500 years in the future. And I don't want to get into my feelings about how this movie's becoming a documentary.
Definitely.
But and I haven't watched it in a long time. But I just remember her being great in it. And if I was going to pick a movie off the top of my head, it would automatically be Bridesmaids, but my second pick would be Idiocracy. She is really good at it. And I just watched something with her just recently with her in it. She was really good. And I can't remember what it was, but it was a TV show. And she just pops up everywhere. But she was in
a show with Christina Applegate, Up All Night, where she played the boss that was sort of like
she was
very good in that.
Yeah, she's just generally good everywhere, and she was good on the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary celebration. She had quite a few different roles in the sketches on that show. She's just good. I just really like her, and her impression of her
Beyonce
impersonation of what?
Of Beyonce.
Beyonce. But I was going to say her and Kamala Harris too is good.
Yeah, she does a great Kamala Harris.
Yeah, she's just really good. So I don't know. It seems weird that I have to go back to a 2006 movie for her. I think she should do a lot more movies. I think, but my pick. The way back,
nice.
Yeah, Frankie McDonald.
That's a good. Yeah,
her role in that is great. That's a great film. I love that movie. I just didn't think she didn't play a real significant part in that. She was really good in it. That whole movie is fantastic. I love that movie.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies of 2013. But I didn't think she had a big enough part in it to pick it. But yeah, totally agree with you. All right, Kenny.
That's a good one. All right. My next one is a Michael McKean movie, and this is not. I'm not stealing your thunder here. It's Clue. with Michael McKean.
Yeah.
Where he played. I love Clue. So
Yeah,
that's
so
like,
do I.
yeah, one of my top 5 comedy movies. So
I'm going to go home and sleep with my wife. I told you I didn't do it.
So that is one of my favorites.
What's the best line in Clue?
1 + 1 + 2 = 5. 1 + 1 + 1, and then the chandelier drops behind Colonel Mustard. Oh, okay.
Madeline Kahn.
Oh yeah, flames.
Flames, just burning flames.
There's a shirt that you can get on Amazon, and I was damn near close to buying it. It has the 1 + 1 + 1 + 2, and people would really be like, "What is that from?" You know, they wouldn't get it.
Yep. Life after death is improbable as sex after marriage. That's my number 2 favorite line from that movie. Okay. And that's Madeline Kahn as well.
I just really wish I would have seen that movie sooner because, like I said, a couple shows ago, I saw it in a late night show. It was my first time seeing it, and I was in a room with people who'd seen it hundreds of times, and they're laughing at every line. And I'm like, "It's funny, but I don't, you know." I just felt like totally out of place. So that was the only time I've seen it.
Yeah, no, I've loved that movie from the get-go, but yeah, I get where you're coming from on that.
Yeah.
And I can almost see where that would turn into like a Rocky Horror type experience.
I was just going to bring that up because when I went to see Rocky Horror, everybody had seen it before, and I'm like, why the hell are they throwing toilet paper?
Why are they pointing at me and calling me a virgin? What do they know?
I didn't get it. You know, I'm like sitting there, like all my friends are like getting up and dancing and stuff, and I'm like, we're in a theater. You know, you're sitting there like throwing toilet paper at the screen and stuff like that. I just didn't get it.
I was going to say Kenny's catching toast out of the air. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, they were like throwing like because they even announced like before, just don't throw liquid at the screen.
Yeah,
and they had like a fisher net like in front, like the first couple rows that you could see it, so it felt like you were like watching it through like a hockey game. Through like the screen, and people were like raising up, throwing the popcorn and throwing the toilet paper. And I'm like, I turned to my friend and I said, "What the hell's going on?" And she goes, "Oh, just wait, it gets better." And I'm like, "They're throwing toilet paper at the screen," So
chicken wire.
Yeah, it was fun to experience it, but like Sean, like you said, if you don't know what's going on, you're just totally lost.
Yeah, that was definitely not the way to see it for the first time. So I felt like I was like not in on all the jokes. But
yeah, and Clue is one of those movies where the dialogue is so fast.
Yeah,
that, there's so many jokes, left and right that it's, if it's getting drowned out by laughter, you're missing half of it. So
right.
No, awesome pick, Kenny.
Yeah, great pick.
Okay, we are up to Will Ferrell, and like I said before, Anchorman is without a doubt my favorite Will Ferrell movie. He's good in Anchorman, but it's everybody with him that makes that movie so damn funny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I didn't want to go with that, but the one that I did pick is very similar. Okay, it's probably my second favorite Will Ferrell movie, and again, he's good in it, but it's the surrounding cast. Sacha Baron Cohen and Michael C. Reilly, Talladega Nights, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby. I'd like to thank you, Jesus, for my wonderful boys, Texas. They're Walker, Texas Ranger. I mean, it's just, I love this fucking movie. I do not like NASCAR. I love this movie. I mean, it's just, it's eminently quotable. And it's one of those few Will Ferrell movies that doesn't drive me absolutely batshit crazy like Adam Sandler does. I mean, certain movies of theirs I just can't deal with. Everybody loves Step Brothers. Mm-hmm. I hate that movie. Okay, yeah, I love Ricky Bobby. I think Ricky Bobby is hilarious. So that's my Will Ferrell pick.
That's awesome. That That almost made my list of comfort movies because when that's on TV, my wife and I watch that all the time.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of those ones we'll stop on and watch. And we just watched it like 2 weeks ago. Great.
Use
pick.
this little knife to get the big one out. That's the part that always
You
gets
used another guy for Anchorman. You could have used Dave Koechner because Dave Koechner was Saturday Night Live.
Was Koechner on Saturday Night Live?
Yep.
Yeah. See, now that I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea he was on Saturday Night Live.
Yep.
Wow.
I forgot how long he was only. I think just a season though, wasn't it?
I thought it was 2 years because him and Mark McKinney had these characters where they were like Victorian, like just like basically pale, and they would be like all in like Victorian clothes, and then by the end of the Weekend Update, they would be bare ass naked. And just like sitting there, with just their like powdered wigs and like they have like the powder on their faces, like looking like Amadeus and stuff. And they would just like review stuff and they would show a slide and they would come back and Seth would, aren't you guys missing a little bit thing? And he goes, "Oh no, Seth!" Like the over the top, and he goes. If you like look it up, it's like they come in with like all this and that I don't know why it made me laugh because it was just so outrageous, But like Koechner was so funny on there. Can I call you Sparky? Because he was on when that Waterfall song was popular because there was a shirt I remember my friend had it and it said "Don't go chasing waterfalls" and he had the character he was on Saturday Night Live with it.
Yeah, he was on for one season, 95 to 96.
Oh, okay. I thought it was 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yep.
So, the more you know.
Yep, the more you know.
You stopped watching after Farley, so you would have been right at that season.
That's funny. Great pick.
Thank you.
Very good, Bob.
All right. My next one is Randy Quaid. That's why I knew that Randy Quaid was cast. Yeah. Kingpin.
That was going to be my Bill Murray pick, so I'm glad I did. Nice.
Yeah, I thought about this, and I was like, I'm picking it for Randy Quaid, but Bill Murray's in it. But, I said maybe it breaks the rule because it does have 2 SNL cast members in it, but I'm highlighting it for Randy Quaid because he's great. Yeah. He's got the more prominent role as the Amish Ishmael, the Amish bowling phenom. Yep. Big Ernie McCracken was Bill Murray.
Don't pull a Munson.
Pull a Munson.
No, wait a minute. Here we go, Sean.
I was just gonna say the humor is fucking gross. But...
Did you guys see that in the theaters?
Yes,
no.
I did.
Okay,
that
scene where he's shitting in the urinal, you there was like laughter like throughout there, and there was like me and my buddy were like we had like tears rolling down our eyes.
Yep.
And my buddy Brian turns to me, he goes, "I'm gonna fucking piss my pants, dude," like that. Oh my god.
Yep, that's my favorite Farrelly Brothers movie. I mean, it is just gold from the opening scene to the end. It is just gold.
Yep. Yeah.
What is it about good sex that makes you have to crap? I think you knocked something loose there. Sorry.
When I was thinking about this movie, that scene was the one that I was thinking of you bringing up more than anything else.
You know me so well.
And I was like, I'll just mention the gutter ball humor and just roll with it. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He knows me so well. Get your mind out of the gutter and get it in the sewer with mine.
Yep, there you go.
Oh man.
But anyway, yeah, Kingpin, Randy Quaid. You're up, Kenny.
All right. Well, I don't think I could top that one, and I probably won't with this next pick.
Oh,
and
man.
it is from Billy Crystal, and it's Mr. Saturday Night.
Nice.
I love that movie. That it has, like Texas said with the Bill Murray, has a lot of heart to it, and the David Paymer's character just destroys me. You know, he gives everything to his brother. You know, he's basically it kind of reminded me of like Zeppo with the Marx Brothers, like Groucho and Zeppo, where it was like Groucho was the talent and Zeppo just did all the dirty work for him, so he didn't have to deal with it. And there's just like one scene that just like breaks you, you know, where he fires his brother, and he goes, "I've been your brother, you know, I'm your brother," and it's just that scene just is like really heartbreaking. But I think that's Billy Crystal's best movie that he did, and it's a shame he got didn't get a lot of love at the box office. But it's still a really great movie.
Yeah, I have to say I've never seen it.
Oh,
it's a good movie.
You're in for a treat.
Yeah.
Him and David Paymer are both fantastic in that movie. They really are.
Yeah. Okay. Paymer, I know can really hit it out of the park.
Yeah, he was nominated.
He got an Oscar nomination for that best supporting actor.
Yeah.
He's stellar in that movie.
Yeah.
No, great pick, Kenny.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. For my next pick, Bill Hader. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Now, I changed this one at the last minute too because the clue that I left on Instagram was too obvious, and it was super bad originally.
Yep.
And I know that Kenny cannot stand
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill. He can't stand Seth Rogen, and he really can't stand Michael Cera. So I thought I can't do that to my.
I've seen the movie. You know, it's like
so. Bearing that in mind, you know, I didn't want to hurt Kenny's feelings and all that, so I picked another movie that stars Bill Hader and Seth Rogen and Michael Cera, and I'm talking about Sausage Party. Kristen Wiig is also in this. She's also from Saturday Night Live.
I would have never picked that movie in my life.
That's why I grabbed it, because again, I thought I would go a little bit deeper than usual. And Hader plays 3 characters in this movie. Okay, he voices 3 different characters in this movie, but everybody is stellar in this movie, especially Salma Hayek is the taco.
The taco.
Okay? Once you go Baco, once you go taco, you never go Baco. Okay. But the best, without a doubt, in this to me is Edward Norton as the bagel, who basically just does a Woody Allen impression for an hour and a half. And it's fucking hysterically funny. Every time he says something, it sounds like Woody Allen. And it's just, I love this movie. It is
You're
so
a very
raunchy.
interesting man, Jim.
It is so raunchy. It is so wrong. One week I have elephant bukkake. Tonight I got food orgy. You know, but, you know, I don't always watch pornography, but when I do, I prefer it to be animated.
Oh man!
You know, so, Sausage Party.
Oh my god! I have not seen that either.
Dude, I am telling you, you'll love it. It is so friggin' wrong, but it is so funny. It is so funny. Have you ever seen it, Kenny?
I've seen it in pieces, like when it was
when
my mom was in the hospital. I think they had it on like TNT, and it was just like I just like basically muted it, you know.
I mean, Craig Robinson does a voice of Grits. Okay, he's a big box of grits, but he's like, you know, a black militant, so he's like, you call me Mr. Grits, you know. And at one point, he's like, we used to be at aisle 5 before the crackers moving us over. Goddamn crackers! I fucking hate those crackers.
I'm gonna have to.
Jägermeister singing about exterminating the juice.
As my mom would say, you are easily amused, Jim.
That is in the opening scene. I mean, it's so good. Follow that one up, Sean.
Yeah, try that, pal.
Good night.
I'll see your Kingpin and I'll raise you sausage party.
There you go. Well, my 2 next movies are comedies, so I will do my best to put a damper on the rest of the show. Oh man, I think I seen Sausage Party when it was on Netflix, and something came up and I had to turn it off, and I didn't have any problem with it. I just couldn't finish it, and I just never got back to it. So,
well, the Netflix TV series is horrible. Don't even bother with that.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a TV series.
Yeah, they made like a 6-episode series. It's either on Netflix or it's on Amazon Prime, one of the two. And I watched about half of the first episode and I couldn't handle it. I turned it off. It was bad. But the movie's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, just the cast and the idea of it I thought was hilarious, but I just never got around to watching it. But yeah, you just sold me on it with the little bits you just enacted there. So
I'll have to go find that now.
It is so funny, man.
Oh boy. All right. I will make no attempt to follow that up in any real form or fashion, but I did pick a Will Ferrell movie, and it's not a comedy. He did 2 relatively serious movies. One was Everything Must Go. I don't know if either of you seen that.
Yeah.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
Okay. Kenny, have you seen that one?
Yeah, I did see that one.
Okay. I didn't pick that one. I did pick the one that I picked is Stranger Than Fiction.
That one I've seen.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, he plays Harold Crick, who his life is narrated by the writing of an author played by Emma Thompson. And thinks he's losing his mind, and it turns into this whole existential mess. I only saw it once, and I'm really way overdue for a rewatch of it. But I just thought his performance in it was really good. The cast is great too. Emma Thompson, like I said, Dustin Hoffman's in it. Maggie Gyllenhaal's in it. But I just thought his performance was really, really good. And Will Ferrell is one of those people who's got a lot of films. Some are great. Some are not not good, not even good. Yeah, Mr. Dan said he would have gone with Everything Must Go. I think Everything Must Go is like a more realistic film. It's more grounded, and Stranger Than Fiction is a little more, fantasy based. But I don't know. I kind of liked the existential part of Stranger Than Fiction, but it's not a movie for everybody. So
right.
I don't know.
I remember I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
At the time. I remember I enjoyed it. It reminded me of like a Charlie Kaufman story.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It kind of has that feel to it. Everything Must Go is probably an easier film to swallow. It is a harder film to get into, Stranger Than Fiction, but I don't know. I just thought it was a really good performance from him, and the plot, you kind of have to put yourself out there a little bit, but I don't know. I just really liked it.
Solid pick.
Good pick.
Thank you.
All right. My last pick is a Joe Piscopo movie.
Oh.
What can it be?
What could it
be? Johnny Dangerously.
You farging ice hole.
You farging ice holes.
Miserable corksucker.
Such a funny movie. Me and my brother still text each other, and you go, "You farging ice hole." It's such a funny movie. We've seen it in the theaters. Actually, when we went to see it, it was really packed. Yeah. Because Keaton was coming off of Mr. Mom.
Mm-hmm.
And it did reasonably well in the theaters, but man, when it got to video, it blew up in video, and especially on HBO.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go, Mike. Mike likes it, but Johnny Dangerously is like so funny. I like how they do the when him and Mary Lou Hunter are escaping with the car, and they're like, "Be on the lookout for a striped car," and then they start to peel off, and it's a different color. Be on the lookout. He is in a red car. They peel it off. It's purple. It's just like the little slight gags that they do with that. I just love that movie.
I like the sex educational video that he film that he puts on for his brother. Your penis and you.
Yeah, because Griffin Dunn plays his brother.
Night. The other gag that I loved in that movie is when they're trying to kill Griffin Dunn's character. They cut his brakes. And he's listening to the radio, and he starts going down the hill, and the fucking music starts speeding up as he's going down the hill. And then you just hear, "Oh my god, oh my god!" And then the car is like rolling over, and the whole time you just hear, "Oh my god, oh my god!" It's just so stupid.
But that's a really funny movie.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't came out with a 4K or a Blu-ray of that movie, because the only
Touchstone.
way. Oh, is that why?
I think that's a Touchstone movie. The more I think about it, that's another poster that I had that disappeared in the fire.
Oh,
but yeah,
man.
I'm picturing the poster in my mind's eye, and I'm pretty sure that was a Touchstone movie.
Wow, that's a shame.
Yeah, great movie, Kenny.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, when that was on HBO and everybody in my class watched it, that was like the most quoted movie in my class. We were just throwing those lines back and forth to each other. That was great.
My mother hit me once.
Yeah.
Shouldn't hang me on a hook, Johnny. My mother hung me on a hook once.
Mike said it's the 20th Century Fox. Which
it is 20th Century. Okay.
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
Yep. It's still Disney.
Yeah. Either way.
Yep. We're screwed.
Yeah. Okay. My final pick of the evening stars Chris Rock. But he's only part of an ensemble piece. And anybody who knows me knows how much I love this movie. But this is without a doubt my favorite Kevin Smith movie, and I'm talking about Dogma.
Yes.
Everybody is stellar in this movie. Alan Rickman is really good in this movie. Chris Rock's great. But Jason Mewes, of all people, is stellar in Dogma. Mm-hmm. He was completely stone cold sober when he filmed that movie because he was worried about Kevin Smith told him that this movie was going to have a real cast with real actors, and this Rickman guy from England wasn't going to put up with any of his bullshit and this and that. So he got clean. He memorized his part, and then he memorized the entire script before they even started filming.
Wow.
And even Rickman was amazed by that. And he did. He memorized the entire script. The day the filming wrapped, he relapsed, unfortunately. But he's been clean now for like 10 years, so good for him. But I love Dogma. I think it is just, for a movie about it was very controversial at the time. People were saying that it was sacrilegious and this and that, which it's not. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I'm not a religious person at all, but I actually got more of a faith message from that movie with a silly poop monster in it than I did in Passion of the Christ.
Mm-hmm.
So I love Dogma, and that's my Chris Rock pick.
It's a great pick.
I like where Jay's hitting on Alanis Morissette, who's playing God.
Who the fuck is this broad? What the fuck is going on?
What the fuck happened to his wings?
Hey, watch your language. What the fuck are you talking about? No, tell me something about me that nobody else knows. You masturbate more than anybody on the planet. So everybody knows that. Yeah, but when you do it, you're thinking of guys.
Come on, Lunchbox.
Yeah. I love that movie so much.
Yep. And I've heard, and I guess it's true, it's coming out on Blu-ray again.
Yes. On 4K and Blu-ray.
And 4K. Yep.
Yeah, somebody finally wrestled the rights away from Harvey Shitstein.
Yep.
And they're putting a whole brand new edition together. They're actually going to re-release that theatrically in limited release.
Wow.
which I might go see it theatrically if it's in this area. I saw it theatrically when it came out, but I'd love to see it on the big screen again. I named a cat Lunchbox once. Nice, Mike.
Great, Mike.
Mike.
Thank God he didn't name it Boo Boo Kitty Fuck. Oh, that's the other movie.
Oh man, yeah, I love that movie, but I have not seen it in a really long time. I found a copy of it on DVD, but I haven't watched it yet.
This puppy is expensive.
Yeah, the DVD is not hard to find.
This ain't the blue. This is a DVD.
Yeah, I have. Is that like the one with the special edition?
Special edition, and
yeah, I've got that one.
Yeah, with where is he? I gotta find him real quick. There we go. Who's your buddy?
Christ. Yeah.
That Christmas, I bought my my buddy Brian a Buddy Christ, because my buddy Brian was basically the J character.
Yeah.
You know, in real life, and I bought my brother a movies hat and a Buddy Christ that we had on this Ford Bronco.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I want to get a Buddy Christ, but my wife said that she won't allow it in the house.
Put it in the garage.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, I haven't seen it.
And the Princess Leia, where she's a nun.
Oh, yeah.
When they're hitchhiking.
Well, that's Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Oh, is it? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because that's where Boo Boo Kitty Fuck comes from.
That's right. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. The unlimited. It's the oldest rule in the book. What book? The unwritten book of the road.
That's right. Sorry about that. I got them confused.
That's all right. We still love you, Kenny.
Thank you.
You bring sex appeal to the show.
Right. I am the TNA.
Hashtag Yam fan.
Yeah.
I should put that in the banner across the bottom of the screen.
Hashtag Yam fan.
Let's get it trending on X.
When I seen not Bachelor Party, when I seen Animal House I would go to my brother, and my brother would get it. She's got a great sense of yabos, you know. And I would just, like, when we're watching TV or something, I'd go yabos like that, and my mom would go, "What the hell are you guys talking about?" Like that, you know. She wouldn't get it. So it was like and then when she seen Animal House, she goes, "Oh, you're a disgusting pig."
See, now I always used to recite the tit joke from Weird Science when they're trying to design the girl on the keyboard. And he's like, "No, make them bigger." And they come out. And he's like, "Hey, if there's one thing I've realized: anything bigger than your palm, you're risking a sprained wrist." Yeah. And then when they go to Robert Downey Jr., bigger tits, and they come out, "Hey, give him the knee shooters." Yes, we love yams on this show.
Yes.
Not sponsored by.
Thanks, Texas. It's never going to die. You know what we haven't mentioned this show yet?
What's that?
Dirty Dancing.
Well, we almost made it through the damn show before you screwed it up. Patrick must have left.
He must have.
Yeah, he usually always makes a joke about that in the first 2 minutes of the show.
Right. Well, he's not here, so I can tell everybody I finally watched Dirty Dancing over the weekend.
And
At the time of his life.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
It's not a terrible movie. I understand why people like it, but like I told Kenny, it's like softcore porn for suburban moms and suburban ladies.
Oh man, as somebody has been ranting about that piece of shit for years, that's the best fucking critique of that film I have ever heard. I wish I would have came up with that. That's perfect. That's perfect.
I mean, I was just watching it, and the slow pans up, like Jennifer Grey's body, and it like lingers over her abs, and then up Patrick Swayze's body, and up Cynthia Rhodes' body, and like Okay, seriously? Like, okay.
It's just so bad. It's just so fucking bad.
I mean, if it was one step closer, they'd be naked and it would be on Cinemax, and then it would be just softcore porn. So
yeah. And one step below, it would have been a TV movie of the week.
Right. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
my point. You know,
Yeah,
it's like, it's either go there or don't, you know?
Right. But I mean, the plot was okay. I mean, there wasn't anything great or fantastic about it. It was perfectly serviceable movie, but the only thing that stood out about it was those lingering shots of the bodies, which is what, makes it.
Other than the 33-year-old trying to bang the 15-year-old, you know?
He was 17. Come on now. This was the 80s.
No, this was the 50s in that movie, or the 60s.
Well,
rather.
when the movie was made, it was the 80s. So yeah, but
we've evolved, Sean.
Yes, we have.
Well, some of us have. Let's talk about Sausage Party some more.
Yeah.
Has anybody done a movie like a stream of that? Texas, have you done a stream of that?
That movie would probably get booted off the YouTube. I haven't even seen too many people react to that movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that one's pretty raunchy, man.
Well, if we have a watch party on this show,
Ape. That's the one I'm looking forward to.
Ape will be it. Yeah. All right. It's time for me to do my last pick, and my last pick is Will Forte, and I do not own this movie. Anybody want to guess?
MacGruber?
Nope.
Oh.
Nebraska.
You got it. Nebraska.
I forgot he was in that, but yeah.
Yep.
As soon as Kenny said it, it was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I totally forgot that he was in it, and when I was like, holy shit, Will Forte was in Nebraska, and then I thought back about it, and I totally forgot he was in it because it was not a comedic role, and he was so good in it. And that sounds bad. I forgot he was in it because he was so good at it, but he proved that he could be a great serious actor in it. And the movie was great. I really loved it. And the thing, when I was doing my research for today, I didn't realize that it was an Alexander Payne movie. Mm-hmm. And he did The Descendants, and he did Election, and he did Sideways. I didn't like Sideways as much, but Alexander Payne does these great movies. So I really want to watch Nebraska again, just to sort of rewatch it, but just to sort of re-examine Will Forte's performance, as knowing that it's Will Forte, because I don't think I even realized it at the time when I was watching it that's Will Forte. But I was watching some clips today, and I was like, holy shit, he's really good. He's really good. And that whole cast is really good. Bruce Dern and June Squibb. Yeah. So that was a great movie, but I've only seen it once, and I don't own it on physical media, so I'm going to have to fix that. So I'm definitely going to get that.
I think Criterion's got a version of that out.
Is it Criterion?
It might be. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's Criterion.
Okay. Yeah. It's one of those movies that it came out and it was like hot shit for like 10 minutes and then disappeared.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about it anymore. Like, we
I've
were
never
talking
seen
about
it, to be honest.
Really? Oh, it's really good.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about it. It's one of those movies that I slipped through the cracks.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely want to watch it again. So, but that's my pick for Will Forte. And
awesome.
Yeah.
I can't believe I said MacGruber.
That's
well, you did bring up Sausage Party.
Well, when he said Will Forte, that was the only movie I could really think of with Will Forte in it. Was MacGruber,
Right. That's the only one that he's really carried. But he was second billed under Bruce Dern in this.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty fucking amazing for
absolutely
for a guy to carry a movie. So
absolutely.
Yeah, and he did a great job. So yeah, that's why I saved it for last, because it was just so kind of surprising that from out of nowhere he comes and lands this big role. And then he hasn't. I mean, he's done some dramatic-ish things. Like he was on that show, The Last Man on Earth.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, and I haven't watched it, but I've heard good things about it, and I know there was some sort of dramatic stuff in that. I think, if I'm not sure, but that's what I heard. But he's very capable of it. But I haven't really heard him do much more dramatic stuff. So I don't know. But there you go. We have made it through our list.
Got any honorable mentions?
I do not. Do you, Kenny?
Oh.
I have 3.
Okay.
I have Taking Care of Business with Jim Belushi. I have Dirty Work with Norm Macdonald.
Good one.
And I have Working Girl with Joan Cusack.
Nice.
Yeah, you already said a couple of my honorable mentions, but for Will Ferrell, one that you guys might not have thought about, you might just scoff at me, but the Lego Movie.
Oh, that's a great movie.
That's a good movie.
And he's good in it.
Movie.
Yeah.
And he's good in it. I mean, the scene at the end with him and the little boy, it's actually quite touching. You know, it really is. For Hater, like I said earlier, I was originally going with Superbad, but I was going to lump him and Downey together for Tropic Thunder because, you know, Tropic Thunder is just an all-out great movie. And for Chris Rock, my other honorable mention was New Jack City.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, Pookie.
Yep. I will say I do have 2 honorable mentions. One is Bill Murray for St. Vincent with him
that's
and
a good one with Melissa
Naomi
McCarthy.
Watts and Melissa McCarthy. That's a great movie. And Robert Downey Jr. Home for the Holidays.
Nice.
I thought you were going to bring that up because you and Lori love that movie.
Yeah, she wanted desperately for me to put that on the list. I was like, but yeah, I'll put it on the list as an honorable mention. So
yeah, my wife wanted me to put Less Than Zero on for Downey, and I was like, Downey's great in that movie. He really is. And James Spader is great in that movie. But that movie is like it has not aged well, and it's just. Yeah, I'd rather stick to, you know, what I picked.
Yeah, you're right, Mr. Dan. St. Vincent, the relationship he has with the little boy.
Yep.
In St. Vincent is really good. That movie, and that was marketed so badly too when it came out.
Yeah, it was. Downey and Zodiac.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one. I totally blew that one. Yeah, that's a great one. Great one. All right. Well, it is that time of the show where we do our movie picks. And Kenny, you are up.
This is a 1981 movie starring one of my favorite actors, Paul Newman. It's on Tubi. It's called Absence of Malice.
Nice.
With him and Sally Field. I actually think this is my favorite Paul Newman movie is Nobody's Fool, where I think he should have won the Oscar. But this movie, he should have won the Oscar for this movie. Everybody is so good. If you want to see a really intense political drama, especially with them working in the newspapers and stuff, I really highly recommend Absence of Malice, because he goes to the courtroom scenes, and there are some of the most intense scenes that you'll see in motion pictures. So Absence of Malice, it's playing on Tubi now.
Awesome.
Nice pick, Kenny.
Thank you.
Yeah, I saw that movie theatrically with my journalism class.
Oh, okay, wow.
And I haven't seen it since. I mean, shit, that's 40 odd years ago. But yeah, I remember at the time I really liked it. Yeah, great pick.
I don't remember if I saw it. If I did, I saw it when it was on HBO, but I only saw it once, and I might as well have not have seen it. I remember it got huge acclaim when it came out, but I don't remember much from it. And that's probably because either I didn't see it or wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, that's a Sidney Lumet movie, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so well done.
Sidney Pollack.
Oh, Sidney Pollack, that's right.
Yep.
Sidney Lumet did The Verdict the year before with Newman.
Yeah. And you watch those, and it's just like, why don't they make movies like this anymore? You know, and it's like, yeah, we don't have the actors, but it's just like, there's not scripts out there that are written as good as that one.
Yeah.
So
they don't make movies for adults anymore.
No.
Yeah, you're right.
Sausage Party. I'm sorry.
All in the same conversation. We went from absence of malice to sausage party. That's something.
That's
right
our
there.
target audience. Right
Yep.
in that niche between absence
That's
of
right.
malice and sorry.
You stay classy, San Diego.
Oh man!
All right, Jim, what do you got
great
for
pick,
him?
Eddie. Great pick.
Thanks.
Okay, my pick tonight is kind of well, let me just go this way, okay? I'm recommending a documentary this week. This will be the third documentary that I've recommended on this show since I've started as a co-host with these two, and this one might be the best one out of all of them. This one is called Drunk, Stoned, Brilliant, Dead: The Story of the National Lampoon.
Oh, okay.
And the reason why I brought this one up tonight is because there would be no Saturday Night Live without the National Lampoon. And this documentary explains why. Because from the National Lampoon magazine, which is how it started, but then they started doing live shows and radio shows. And just some of the names that were launched from that radio show: John Belushi, Bill Murray, Chevy Chase, Christopher Guest, Gilda Radner, so many more. John Hughes was a writer for that magazine. He wrote a article or a story called Vacation, My Summer Vacation. And that's what formed the basis for the movie Vacation. There is another great piece written by Doug Kenny, which became Animal House. This documentary is informative. It is absolutely hysterically funny because they have lots of archive footage from those radio shows and those live shows. But more importantly, they have live artwork and little montages from the magazine itself. And some of the things stand up 50 years later. The most famous magazine cover they ever had was they had this cute little dog on the cover with a gun to its head. Yeah. And it said, "Buy this magazine or we shoot the dog." That gives you an idea of the humor. The other one that always stood out to me was it was an ad for a fake magazine called Easily Distracted Mother, where you see two mothers talking over a fence, and behind one of them, the kid is floating face down in the swimming pool. I mean, it's just dark shit. But it is so funny. So my pick this week: Drunk, Stoned, Brilliant, Dead: The Story of the National Lampoon. This is available on Tubi.
Yes. I just looked it up and I added it.
Yeah, I cannot recommend it enough, guys. It is one of the funniest documentaries I've ever seen.
That's awesome. Great pick. And as always, we will throw the trailers for all of our picks on the Talking Movies 2024 channel page on the playlists. So you'll be able to see highlights from all of these picks.
Thank you, Texas.
Yeah. So, all right. Mine is going to sound really lame compared to these two picks. But I watched it over the weekend.
Better not be Dirty Dancing.
It's not Dirty Dancing. It's Spy with Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, it's a great movie.
I watched this over the weekend. It's just hilarious. It's a great parody of the spy espionage movies, James Bond type movies with Jason Statham and Melissa McCarthy, Rose Byrne, and Jude Law. Melissa McCarthy's great in this, but she's kind of hit or miss in movies, but she's fully carries this movie. But it's fun to see Statham kind of poke fun at himself and his action movie persona. And Jude Law is really good as sort of this more straight-laced agent. And Rose Byrne makes a great villain, but it's from Paul Feig. How do you pronounce it? Paul Feig? Feig?
Yep, you got it.
Which one?
Feig.
but when I saw his name come up, I was like, okay, this should be pretty good. Of course, it came up on Ghostbusters, and we all know how that ended up.
See, I don't even talk to him about that. The one I recommend with him is Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah, That's what I was going to say. But when he's a safe bet for Freaks and Geeks, and Bridesmaids. So, if you like Bridesmaids, you like Freaks and Geeks, you probably like this. It's really funny. And Melissa McCarthy is the best thing about it. And I had heard nothing but great things about this, and I was really like I said, Melissa McCarthy's hit or miss, and I was sort of waffling on it. But I sat down and watched it over the weekend, and I really loved it. It's really funny. Allison Janney's in it, and she's funny too. She doesn't have much of a sense of humor in it.
Funny too.
Who's that?
Miranda
Hart.
Miranda Hart, who plays the basically what Melissa was doing for Jude Law.
Right. Yeah. He does it for her.
Yeah.
It's a great little funny movie. It's if you're looking for something to watch to kill, I think it's 2 hours long. But it's really funny.
It's funny as hell.
Yeah, it's funny as hell. So
I'm trying to find the guy's name in the movie. The guy that I absolutely shit. Now my phone is acting up. The guy that played, he was like the other spy. First he's talking in Italian, then he has an English accent.
Oh yeah.
And he's constantly trying to make out with Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah,
she's like,
I know.
Get away from me! He steals the movie to me. Every scene that guy was in, I was laughing hysterically.
I know exactly who you're talking about, and I
can picture him in my head. Peter Farcelli or something like that, or
Facinelli?
Maybe that's his name. I don't know, but he is hysterical.
He's funny. Yeah, he's hilarious. Yeah, I'm trying to see.
And Statham's really funny in that movie too.
Yeah, Statham is hilarious. It's Aldo. It's Peter Serafinowicz.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's friggin'
Aldo.
hysterical. Me bella. He's just constantly trying to kiss her.
Yeah, he's great in this. So, yeah, if you're just looking for something light,
and that's in the movie where you have to sit to the end of the credits to watch.
Yeah.
Because you will miss.
Absolutely.
You will miss something.
Yeah, which is really worth waiting for. So
yeah.
No, that's a great pick, Sean.
Thanks.
That's my favorite Melissa McCarthy movie, without a doubt.
Yeah, I would say it's got to be up there. She's usually really, really good, and she was good in Bridesmaids, but this is the first Melissa McCarthy movie that she's the star of that I think I could really recommend wholeheartedly.
Boss was funny too.
I didn't see that yet, though.
That is so funny. She, like Kristen Bell. Kristen Bell is in there, and she's like a single mom with a daughter, that sells Girl Scout cookies. So Melissa McCarthy is like the Martha Stewart character, and she goes, "We can get this business on the road," and basically turns it into like $1 billion company with all these Girl Scouts selling Girl Scout cookies, and her going around harassing people and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
That one is really funny. But the other one, that Tammy, was unfucking watchable. I could not.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I never watched that one either.
Yeah,
the best part of that was Susan Sarandon played her grandmother. So where she needed a car, and they wouldn't let her drive anywhere. So Susan Sarandon's basically senile and driving around in this 1978 Dodge,
Nice.
Going 20 miles an hour. Granny, can we step on it? So she goes up to 30.
Got the old cruise control set at 35.
Revenge of the Nerds. All right, guys. Well, look at that. We came in just under time.
All right. Way to go.
We might know what we're doing.
So that gives us some time to look through the comments and see if we missed any picks that we might have missed. Let's see. Where the Buffalo Roam with Bill Murray.
Yeah, that's where he plays Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
I think we got most of Funny Farm. Yeah, we got them all.
Yeah.
I think we got them all.
Good job. Oh, Moving with Dana Carvey.
Oh, yeah, Moving. That was Richard Pryor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. Not a great
Richard
movie.
Pryor. Poor Richard Pryor.
Not a great Richard Pryor movie.
No. Richard Pryor, I love Richard Pryor. The man was a comedic genius, and he deserved much better than his movie career.
Yes.
Because outside of the first two movies that he did with Gene Wilder and a couple of the movies that he did in the 70s, I can't think of too many of his movies that were worth a damn.
Yeah.
I'll give you one that's one on Max that I watched today.
The Toy.
No. See No Evil, Hear No Evil.
Yeah, that one's all right.
That's all right.
But I prefer Silver Streak and Stir Crazy by far.
Yeah.
I just do, you know. But yeah, like I said, that guy, the best movies that Richard Pryor was in were his stand-up movies.
Mm.
You know, Live at the Sunset Strip.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Live in Concert, and even Here and Out was good, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He was a phenomenon back when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And
him and Carlin.
him and Carlin.
Yep.
And I remember being able to see
that
the
on HBO. That was like an event.
Yeah.
That strip. That was like.
Yep.
That's what I was
going to say. When that was on, it was like you were watching something you shouldn't see, and it was fantastic.
Absolutely.
But
you just sit there and giggle at all the bad language.
Yep.
And then go to school.
It was really funny too.
Yeah, you go to school the next day and try to imitate it, and all your friends would just be like, "Oh," while you're just like completely butchering the material, you know?
Right. Yeah. Those were the days, man.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Good show, guys.
Yeah, good show.
Good show, guys.
Thanks for everybody in the chat for throwing in your picks. And again, I'm sorry if I missed anything at the time. A little slow tonight. But we will be back in 2 weeks with another show, which will be April 8th. Woohoo! It's April already.
Yeah.
Hey, Corey. Didn't see you in there.
What's up, Corey?
And so, yeah. Great show. Thanks, Kenny. Thanks, Jim. Good show.
Thank you
guys.
And we'll see you on the flip side. And if you are listening on the replay, thank you very much for tuning in. We glad you're listening in. Thanks, Texas.
Thanks, Texas.
Good night.
Thanks, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Have a great night, everybody.